to this another video, a fantastic video on one of the interview questions which was asked in my interview. So this was AWS related question. So they had two accounts actually, dev account and prod account, and they wanted to enable cross account S3 bucket access. So he asked me like, how do we enable that? He asked me, how do we do that? How can dev account securely access image in S3 bucket in prod account without making the bucket public? There are two ways to do that. First is you can make bucket public, but you cannot make prod bucket as public, right? It is private only, so you have to keep it private, and then also we have to allow dev account, the separate dev account, to have access to the prod account S3 bucket. So how do we do that? Let's implement this in a practical way. Let's try to do that. So I have two accounts. If you see. So if you see this is the what we call, this is the GitHub repo which I'll be providing you in the description, which you will have in the description. You will be able to read and follow that blog and follow this and then try to implement it by your own self. So I've written a blog also, like this is the blog. This is a blog. Possibly you can read the blog also. So if you see, I have two accounts. This is master account 787, and I have another account which is, which is this. Yeah, this is I opened in incognito mode because two accounts I cannot open single tabs in the same browser. I cannot open. So I've used the same browser, but I've used incognito for this. So this is another account. I want to access the bucket in. So you remember this 8241. This is the account which I want to access, which I want to enable access for. This is the account which I have, and there are multiple buckets in this. So I want to give access to this dev image 507 bucket access. So I have to log in again. Let's see. MFA, yeah, they made mandatory nowadays. MFA. Let me enter MFA, multi-factor authentication. Okay, I'm into the account now. It is not yet logged in. I'll be logging in. So I want to give this bucket access to that account, to that dev account. Though the name is different, 𝐾𝐴𝐻 account, but that's a dev account, and this master account is the product. Let's suppose this is product account, that is dev account. Now to give access to that 𝐾𝐴𝐻 account to this master account S3 bucket, dev images 507. So for this you have to add a policy in bucket. Inside a bucket you have to add a policy, and this is the policy. I gave the policy in the description. I'll give you the repository. Possibly you can follow and create the same policy. Bucket policy. I'll add the bucket policy. Edit. So I'm changing the bucket policy here. I'm not changing anything else. Just added the bucket policy. What's happening? Saying something. The wrong account ID. This is the account ID. If you see, this is the account ID, right? I was giving wrong account ID, so I changed it. So what's happening here is, let me explain you this. Okay, this is AWS policy language version, and then statement. If you see statement, it start permission, like start permission block, and this is the name which you want to give to the name or identifier. That's the identifier, and effect is allow. We can, if you use the deny, then it will deny everything. and what I want to give access to. Like I want to give access to this account. In that account, I have developer access one user, and that user I want to give access to. So this user is there inside the other account, the dev account. And what actions I want to give S3 all permissions, like all permissions I'm giving, read, write, put, everything. Read, write, list, delete, everything. And resources, I want to give only access to this bucket, right? This bucket, I'm specifying this bucket. So once the policy is created, let's save it. Okay. Now the policy is saved. So now let's go ahead and try to add try to create IAM user inside. IAM user will already be there because developer access is already there in that development account. You have to go to development account. If we go here, I am into development account now, not into prod account. IAM user will be there. So we have one user, right? A developer access. So that's the access I gave to this developer access. This user is there. So we need to create a user. Create a user is there. We have to add a policy. We have to create custom inline policy. Custom inline policy we need to add, and this is the policy for that. Let's add it. Once we have added, let's move to next. Let's name it as dev images 507. We can name anything, but I'm naming it as per my bucket name. Once this is done, our task is completed. Like we have to create one policy for the bucket and one policy for the user. Attach a role, attach a policy and attach to this user, right? This is attached to this user. So now we have to create security credentials. Deactivate. Let's delete the existing access secret key. Let's not deactivate it, or else something else will break. Let's create another one. Let's deactivate. It's older, like 1500 days, around 1200 days. Let's delete it. Let's create access secret key. Just 1 hour ago I created one. I was testing this thing. Command line interface. Then move to next. Understand. Move to next. Next, create. Once it is created, let's create a server inside this and then try to access it. I'm creating a server inside dev account, not prod account. Dev account. Let's name it as Ubuntu server. Ubuntu. Key would be cloud key pair, which I just now created. Let's take the hosting VPC, public VPC, public hosting VPC, and then enable it should be there, and hosting VPC SG. Let's keep everything as it is. I've used T2 micro. I'm testing this, like if my bucket access is working or not. I'm testing that. Once it is created, let's go to this instances. It will take some time for it to be created. Take the public IP. Specify the username Ubuntu. SH key you have to create it. You have to download it. So this is the key pair, cloud key pair. So I'm accessing the server inside dev account. Let's install AWS CLI. How do we install AWS CLI? I have given the command in the blog. You can read it. Even in this also I have given. Let's AWS configure. Let's do AWS configure. Let's take the access key, secret key. Access key, let's take it. Let's take secret key. Region would be AP South 1 JSON. Once it is created, let's check if everything is working fine. Let's verify AWS identity. If it is able to connect to that account. It's able to connect to that account. Okay. Now verify if you are able to access the bucket. There is nothing in the bucket. Nothing in the bucket. So let's write something and try to see if it is able to write it. You wrote it, right? So now let's try to download that file. Let's try to remove that file first of all. Let's download it. Let's do ls. It is there, right? It came. And let's see if it got uploaded to our S3 bucket. S3 bucket, if I go and see if it is uploaded or not. It got uploaded, right? So it's a secure bucket. It's not a public bucket. So we have kept one bucket separate, secured, private one, and then we try to access it from dev account. We had two accounts, right? One prod account and one dev account, and we tried to access this bucket from dev account, and we were able to do that. So let's try to remove this and then try to see. Let's try to remove this. Download we did. Let's try to remove this. Do we have all the permissions? We have all the permissions, right? So okay. So why assume role is not required? Like we were supposed to write assume role, right? Why assume role is not required? So in our setup. So I've written a blog around it, so you can possibly read and try to understand why assume role is not required. So we gave a cross-account S3 bucket access. So what we did, I had two accounts, right? Prod account and dev account, and I had a bucket in prod account, and then I had to give access to dev account to the bucket in prod account. So how did I do that? I added a bucket policy in prod account in bucket, and then went into dev account and tried to create a user, and then tried to add a policy to that user so that it accesses that bucket inside prod account. I was able to access it, and I was able to delete it, create it, and also update it. Everything I was able to do it. So this is how you answer the question in the interview. Like if the interviewer asks you the question, how do we do that? We can say that create a bucket policy in the account where I want to give access to, and then create a policy in the account where I want to access it from. Create a policy for IAM user, and then try to access the bucket from the account which I want to access to. So I can say this thing like if interviewer asks me in simple question like how do we give cross account access to the S3 bucket. Simply there are two things only. So first thing is you have to create a bucket policy in the account where you want to give access to bucket from to and from that account to the other account which to the other account where I want to access it from. I want to create a policy in IAM user and then try to access the bucket from the prod account. So it is as simple as that. Just two policies, bucket policy and user policy. I need these two policies. If I create it, then I'll be able to access it. So these are you answer the question in the interview. So one of the questions which was asked by during my interview in AWS interview. Thank you. Don't forget to delete the instances after creation after the experimentation is completed. Please delete the instance which we created. Always will be built automatically. So don't forget to delete the instances. You can keep the policy and everything as it is, or you can keep the S3 bucket also because that's nothing is there in S3 bucket, so it will not be charged much. So you can delete the server which we created. Don't forget to delete this, or else you will be billed unnecessarily.